You're watching Plant Identification Through Personal Investigation with Angeline Whitmire. This plant portrait is for purple coneflower, Echinacea purpurea. Purple coneflower is a perennial plant. In this video, we'll look at Echinacea purpurea through a 12-month cycle. In early spring, new leaves arise from the existing roots. As the days go by, more leaves develop. Notice how the leaf tips seem to be gently rounded. Also, the leaf margins are smooth. As the purple coneflower plant grows, it fills out with more leaves, which have the expected pointed tip on each leaf. You can also see the strong central vein. Two other veins run the length of the leaf on either side of the center vein. Smaller veins lead from these three most prominent veins. The leaves alternate up the plant's stem. In this photo, you can see the small serrations along the leaf margin, as well as a developing flower head. The upper leaves are smaller, and the space between the leaves is greater as the stem grows taller. Here we can also see the flower head beginning to bloom. The outer petals are actually ray flowers. They open up and fold outwards as the flower head begins to bloom. The central portion of the flower head contains the disc flowers. Underneath the flower head are the green bracts we saw earlier with the developing flower head. Here's another young Echinacea purpurea flower head. The central portion looks like green spines. The supporting stem is hairy. By midsummer, the purple coneflower plants are in full bloom. Each plant can have a number of flower heads in various stages of development. Looking closely at the central portion of the flower head, the inner disc flowers bloom from the outermost ring toward the central topmost ring. Look carefully at the top of this flower head. You can see the disc flowers' pistils rising up. The V-shaped styles of the pistils are shorter than the surrounding spines, which are now red-orange in color. This photo shows several blooming stages of purple coneflower. There's a newly opening flower head, a flower head which is midway through its blooming process. You can see the yellow ring in the center marking the location of the freshest disc flowers which are blooming, and a fully mature flower head, complete with a bee feasting on its pollen. Notice how the central disc is flatter in the younger flower head, while it is conical and taller in the mature flower head. This view of a fresh flower head from above illustrates the spiral nature of the central disc flowers. Later in the summer, the Echinacea purpurea blossoms are nearly finished. We can see the pink ray flowers have folded backwards and downwards. Their petals are torn and fading. The green leaves remain strong and vibrant. Let's look more closely at a late summer flower head. Here we can see the ray flowers turning from pink to brown and becoming brittle. The central disc portion still has its orange spines. Here is another flower head with dying ray flowers and the spiny central cone. With this flower head, we can see the stem turning from green to brown. The dead ray flowers are curled brown wisps of material, and the central disc spines are now brown. The disc has retained its conical shape. As the summer season moves into the fall season, the leaves turn from green to yellow. Still, the plant continues to bloom. Would you say this is a younger or an older flower head? Right, it's a younger one, as the round central disc is still flat. Let's look at those spiny flower heads again. They seem to have something white in the middle of those spines. A closer look reveals the white papery seeds embedded in the flower head. While shaking a fully mature dried flower head, the seeds drop out, along with some of the spines. Here we can see the dried spines which broke off, as well as some of the seeds. This flower head has begun to break apart. You can see the individual spines more clearly now. Another very dead flower head which has dispersed its seeds with the wind's help. Gradually, the dead seed heads, as well as the dead stems from this year, decay. During the winter, the dead plant material, leaves, stems, and seed heads, mulch the area and mark where the new plant will arise in the spring. This is Angeline. Thank you for watching and learning how to identify Echinacea purpurea, also known as purple coneflower. Visit identifythatplant.com for more images of purple coneflower for plant identification resources and for information about how you can confidently master the skill of correct plant identification.